the City of Angels is black and gold. You are listening to the Heart of LAFC Podcast. And now, Joseph Zacher.
Greetings, Los Angeles. Welcome to episode 213 of the Heart of LAFC Podcast. For this one, we're going to keep it simple and call it Decision Day, because this might be the most epic decision day in the history of Major League Soccer, where everything's up for grabs in both conferences. Nothing is defined, only a few are secure, and those who are secure have everything to play for. Yes, this is what decision days are all about. So, that being said, 90 minutes for the boys. They got to settle it for themselves. They can't rely on anybody else to get them there. It's all them with a victory, anything less, and we're watching this thing on TV like everybody else. And the questions start flying next week. So let's do this. Let's get into it. Of course, they did play a game against, Vancouver. Didn't quite get the result they needed on the day. The draw kept them alive, though. And so we'll break that down to explain why that's so impactful for this weekend. And then we'll get into why you guys are all checking out and joining us and doing this, the playoffs and decision day, and everyone's opportunities in and out. We're going to go kind of nuts tonight and break everybody down, show you the nightmare scenarios, the funny scenarios, the chaos scenarios, all that fun stuff. But before we can get into all that stuff, let's introduce our panel for the day. Forever, let's be honest. First off, Bam is in the house. Tony is here. And, of course, Benjamin. Tony, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing really well. I'm excited for this weekend. Unfortunately, I will not be able to make it. But I am going to a very, very cool thing that I'll post about later when I get to it. I don't think I can say yet.
Not quite yet, but yes, we will definitely discuss that. Bam, how are you doing today, sir?
It's going all right. I'm a bit underprepared. Was sick last couple of days, but I'm getting a lot better now.
But you're feeling better. That's what's key. Excellent, sir. Excellent. As I watch his microphone go crazy, for those of you who are watching, it's having fun over there, getting him prepped for the show here. And, of course, Ben joins us. Ben, how are you doing?
Hey, good. I'm doing good. Excited for Sunday. Looking forward to getting those, necessary 3 points and hopefully getting a playoff spot.
I mean, at the end of the day, that's the story, right? Ben here wrote a great article about what was at stake in the last match. It kind of hinted at what was required. We didn't quite get there, but it also kind of hinted as to what was left after the fact. So good stuff on him. Ben has been our writer since pretty much day one. When you can get into it, he goes for it and doesn't pull any punches. Also, Ben, if you've noticed, he's been throwing out some amazing updates on Twitter. Pretty much the first to the game. I think he broke a Tuesta. He broke some Velic stuff, but it's been pretty cool hearing from Ben. Ben, thank you for doing that and throwing it our way. It's good, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
All right. So if you guys are ready for this, let's do it. Let's get into Vancouver. Vancouver happened, right? I mean, that's first and foremost. We were ready. Let's just prep the beautiful part of the day, because that really is what I want to focus on, because the game was not the beautiful part of the day, and that would be the amazing tifo, the ofrenda that was built by the 3252, led by, let's be honest, a ton of work by our friends from D9U, and then making it a collaboration for all of us. So that was amazing. I know I left stuff from my dad, so I, beyond thankful for everybody that get that put together. Tony and I were both there the night before. You guys saw the live that popped on, doing some prep for the tifo, moving a few flowers around, but they worked so fast. By the time we got done doing tifo, they were already finished with the altar. So yeah, it was, that ofrenda was special. It touched me, that's for sure, and everyone involved. Paying respects to our fallen comrades, our families, doing how it's supposed to be done. Tony, your impressions, prep and all that for the game?
It was fun. It was one of those things. I wasn't around for season 1, just to let everyone know. So I never did the whole pull up the tifo, because I'm so used to let's just do the pulley system and then just do it that way. Not this, we have to crawl through everything. And the flowers were actually the scariest part because I know most of us have never been up there. Maybe a couple of us have. But up in the North End Terrace, their glass is like literally, it's scary up there. It's one of those
Mhm.
things where if you're intoxicated and not have loss of balance, you could die. But overall, the offerenda was really cool. Everything prepping up for it, everything, and it it at after the game and when we stood to the drum circle, it was just a sad moment as well. A lot it hurt. It's just say that, but
Yeah.
it was a happy hurt.
Yeah, it was a necessary emotion to have to drop the reality, really. Because time moves. We're always fast. We do things. We keep moving, and you keep yourself busy so you don't have to focus on that, right? But this gave us a chance to reflect, and it was special, to get that chance in stadium as well. The song choice was, yeah, we didn't even know that was going to happen for most of us. Going old school, with the old school type of tifo, back to season one, like you said, was a nice touch as well. And yeah, everyone involved to make that happen. It was a lot of work all over the place, traveling, getting the paint done. To get to that moment, it was more than appropriate. And I gotta say, it's gotta be the first ever Dia de los Muertos tifo that I've ever seen. I don't think I've ever seen one around before, at least in MLS, right? I mean,
Yeah,
that's a first. So
we've had
yeah,
scarves.
yeah, but I mean, a full tifo, that's pretty epic stuff. So there was also the art that came out. I think we're gonna cover that a little bit later on. But ultimately, at the end of the day, off the field was everything appropriate, right? Good. On the field, of course, is a different story. It didn't quite live up to the billing that we expected from our boys. Um, Less of the play, let's be real, and more of just the result. So, lineup on the day as I pull this bad boy up here. Man, I did it again. All right. So Blackman was back in goal. No shock to anybody there. He is our starter. Center backs for Fall, Murillo, Ibiaga. Nice to see Ibiaga getting some time in there. He does belong. Farfan is your right wing back. Or sorry, left wing back. Kim is your left wing back. No, I mixed it up again. Ugh. Yeah, right wing back for Kim. Sorry. Uh, Blessing, Edwards, and Palacios in the mid. So that test we did the match before, we just repeated it again in the midfield and let Palacios and Edwards do their thing. Blessing is who he is, right? Still played well on the day, doing his job. Up top was Orango and Rodriguez. The question was, is Atuesta going to be ready? Ben broke the news that he wasn't going to be ready. He was so not ready, he didn't even dress. So that was that. Thank you, Ben, for breaking that. And then, of course, Vela was the conversation. When's Vela going to play? Is he going to play? Is he going to start? Is he going to dress? He dressed everybody. And then we'll talk about him coming in later. But as we expected, Super Sub would be the story for him. From the get-go, of course, Vancouver, bam, what did they throw our way?
They decided to throw this our way. They had Kripper in the back, Godoy, Dringworth, Nowinski, Gaspar, Tirbet, Owusu, Brown, Gould, White, and Dahomey was their starting lineup.
It's amazing seeing Jungwirth get like a second, breath of life after getting pretty much run out of San Jose and always being in the doghouse over there. That now he's anchoring a team that potentially could be in the playoffs. Well, that team that thought he wasn't good enough definitely won't be in the playoffs. So I must say that once again. Jungwirth in, San Jose out. Good on him for surviving. But cool. Now, seeing the lineup, how did they approach it? How did they come at us from the get-go, sir?
I didn't get to see much of the game because I wasn't feeling too well. But from what I could see, they weren't holding back. They decided to attack straight away.
Yeah, I mean that was it. It was going to be a shootout. They were building for a shootout. They were going for it. The thing is, though, our boys were well organized and looked the part from the start. Flow, run of play, everything was right. People were moving where they had to. The defenders were where they had to be. It looked good. It looked right. But of course, LAFC in the 15-minute curse strikes again. Tony, what happened in the 14th minute?
So pretty much like it was a miss. The lead up to it was a good couple passes. Like we were still containing them as best as we could, but Ibiaga just went too aggressive and let De Boer, how do you say his name?
Dahome.
Dahome,
Right,
thank
Dahome?
you. Dahome,
Mm.
yeah. Dahome like just kind of cut him in and just put away goal, and we're down 1-0, and it's just like one of those things where it's like we always say, 20 minutes, just give me a good
Get
20
through
minutes,
it.
we'll be fine. Yeah.
To be real, it even goes farther back, and it really goes back to Edwards. In midfield, he got stripped. He decided to take an extra touch. He was having good runs on players, right? He was doing it. But in this case, he took a risk and tried to cut one cut too many. They stripped him of the ball and quickly turned it for the counter. That's really where the trouble was. Odd man rush. To be real, our team just has a difficult time recovering from rushes like this. I mean, a good team should kill you when they get an extra man on the attack, right? That should be what happens. But for us, it seems like it's almost a certainty these days. And so it goes through, goes past Fall. He can't really adjust to it. Ibiaga comes across, challenges with the left foot, kind of crosses his own body to try to get into it rather than contain. Right? Look, he was just going for the intercept and just didn't get there because it was wrong-footed, to be honest. Again, odd man rush, things happen. And we dig it out of our net. Tough, man. Tough break for us, that's for sure. Ben, leading up to that, though, it didn't look like that was going to happen, right?
No, so I actually thought like the first 15 minutes it was pretty scrappy from both teams up until that goal. But what I did like from LAFC is their response after the Vancouver goal. They had like a little spurt of like 5-10 minutes where they were just going at the Vancouver goal. Crapo had the game of his life. He had like what 8-10 saves in the whole game, but in that
Yeah.
first half, just 3-4 shots, Cheeky, Edwards, a header from Fall off a corner kick, Ipiaga, they were all very close to scoring for LAFC. And finally in the 47th minute, when LAFC was pushing for that equalizer before the half, there's a corner kick, broken play, ends up in the feet of Ipiaga inside the box. I think he tried to cross it back inside, and then the ball gets deflected off Youngworth.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually already going towards goal, but I think Fall wanted that goal for himself, so he was like, "Nope, this is mine." So he got his foot on it, and it was a 1-1 tie. At first, the ref called offsides, but thankfully, after video review, the goal went our way, and that was a 1-1 draw, and that's the way the first half ended.
Yeah, and to be real, the reason it was not offsides is because it came off of Youngworth.
Right.
That's why. If it comes off of one of our guys, clear cut offside, no question about it. He was in an offside position until they technically gained possession and turned the ball over. That's the determination and why it was. Because I looked at it, I'm like, oh, we're dead. In the first bounce, I didn't realize it was Youngworth, because it was a chaos in the box. And then when you see the replay, like, oh, well, we just got out of jail on that one. Like, seriously, we just got lucky on that one because Fall didn't have to touch it. That was the worst part. It was going in. There was no question, but it was so frustrating. I don't blame him because it's just you want to be 100% certain it's a goal.
Right.
Right? Because bounces weren't really going our way. Everything was good up until the last play, and these things were just a little bit off. So we go to the half, tied, but I don't know. I felt like it looked like we were going to pull this thing off and run away with it in the second half. Things looked good. Tony, your impressions of the first half, my friend?
It was a shaky first 20 minutes, like it always is. We never know what we get. After that, I think it was like a wake-up call. It was one of those things where they're like, all hands on deck, let's go. And in the stats later on, it'll show, but we kept attacking. They literally try to park the bus and just get the 3 points to make sure they advance. But we were overall, I feel like we were going in strong, and that goal put us in the way we needed to be going into the half.
Yeah, everything was where it should have been for us to pull this thing off. Second half kicks off. What stood out to you the most in this half, Tony? What were your key moments?
Honestly, that we just came out and just tried to bully them. You know what I mean? They were going to give us the space, so we're going to use it and just keep attacking them the whole way. Everybody was, like I said, everyone on deck. There was no one really trying to defend, only when it needed to, but our defense was a shutdown defense at that moment in time. Of course, there's some scary moments, but overall, just a shutdown defense.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Vancouver basically settled for the counter. Second half was it was a siege. It was an outright siege. Our guys were all over them. Should have had one, but there were moments where they could have stolen the game from us as well, just because we overcommitted to the point where it just happened that way. Vela came into the game eventually, to a hero's welcome, of course, back into the mix. I'm not sure. The first few touches he had were impactful, right? Good space creation. He'd sent a few players to the right direction. But other than that, it seemed like things kind of slowed when he got the ball rather than sped up, because we were kind of moving at a certain pace, and now it was like more methodical, but slow enough to the point where it allowed Vancouver to adjust with him. Of course, he can thread passes like no one else on the field, but clearly the dynamic play that we had before he came in, kind of the character of it changed a bit. And I'm not sure it was for the better, to be honest. Not that he played bad, but the movement was a little more deliberate, you could say. Ben, your impressions in the second half?
Well, to begin at halftime, Bob makes that sub for Farfan. He takes Farfan out and brings on Sifu. I thought Sifu, brought that offensive spark. He always got inside the box. He was sending in good crosses. Brian, I think, had some good moments, dribbling past defenders, drawing fouls in dangerous spots, and, getting some good crosses in as well. And then Cheeky, again, I mentioned it last podcast, I wanted to see it again. We saw it again, and again, he looked comfortable in the midfield. He was always in a good position to receive the ball. He made some good passes, didn't make too many mistakes. And yeah, I mean, I enjoy the team's performance in the second half. The energy in the crowd was intense. It felt like the team was really feeding off the energy in the crowd. But then again, Crepeau, man, he had the game of his life. He had oh man, he had like 2-3 good saves in that second half. And you're before getting to the last part, Vela coming on the 70th minute. I do agree with you that the tempo did kind of slow down a little bit. But it was good to see him, active in attack. He was doing some good combination plays here and there. Had a free kick that was, almost went in. Another shot that was saved by the goalie. But yeah, it did slow the game a little bit. But I think, maybe in the next game, once things are more calm, and not so just go because of the moment, maybe it'll be better. But well, what do you think?
Mm-hmm. No, I think you're on point. I mean, the chance creation was still there, even though it looked different, the approach looked a little more deliberate, there were still chances being generated. I do give Blackman credit. He had a few times where he had to really step up and save our skin. He did. That's what you need from a goalkeeper, right? For the counters. He came out necessary, did his moves, won it in the air like we brought him in to do, but he also took some low stuff out. So good on him for getting the job done. My man of the match, I know we gave it to Fall, right? He got the goal. Cool. Really, to me, the man of the match was Brian Rodriguez. Out now. I think this was the most. He didn't score a goal, of course, but in terms of a complete game, controlling tempo, being the guy that was the engine from that side of the field, he was the guy. Like, you could tell they were keeping up with him. He was moving at a different speed. Chicho was doing what he could to handle what was coming from him. The movement was right. Fall looked good, but B-Rod just was flying, not making errors, not making unnecessary dribbles. He was in the mix. It looked good. And I just felt really bad that he didn't get a setup in this game. He didn't get an assist, because he earned it. He definitely earned it on the day. Tony.
I was going to say, what do you guys think of the whole, because we only saw it for a couple minutes, but the whole Chicho, Vela, Rodriguez, because I know Chicho and Vela worked really well, especially off one play where it was just a back and forth pass that would just look beautiful. But how do you think those three up front, if say we keep them, well, for right now, say we moving forward, we keep this lineup of B-Rod, Chicho, and Vela up front, that Vela's fully healthy?
It was dynamic. We just don't have time to see it adjust. There's just no time. Time is our enemy. They don't have time except training to do it, and you need games to get it right. And one killer match against Colorado is a hard ask to be like, get it right today in a knockout match. Go. Like, that's tough. That's a tough ask, hard ask. And let's be real, Vela's not 100% match fit, you could say. The endurance is still not going to be there. You could see in his movements, he's not all the way there. He's not injured. It's about being fit. It's about playing at the speed that he's used to playing at. He's still adjusting, and you could tell. Skill, quality is there. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough for a player to walk into a game, especially when that intense. And now Colorado's another story, and we'll get into that and why it's even harder than what we dealt with. So, Ben, your thoughts on the triple threat?
I mean, I think if the three of them play up top, I think Brian and Vela can interchange like on the wings. I think Chicho is set as a center forward, and maybe Vela can kind of roam around as a central attacking midfielder. But like Joseph said, that takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. I mean, we hope that they can do the best they can and adjust as quickly as possible within this last week of training. But hopefully Brian can continue doing what he's doing, on the wing. He has a lot of confidence right now. He seems very focused, as well as Chicho does too. Hopefully that last play in the second half doesn't stay on his mind too long. The last header that he missed, and that would have blown the roof off of the bank. But yeah, I mean, hopefully, they take advantage of these few days of training and get things right and do the best they can.
I mean, to be honest, he didn't have a good angle to steer that one in. He didn't. He really, the body weight, it just wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. Everything was so close all the time. So close, just not quite where it should have been. The soccer gods seemed angry. I don't know. But frustrating. Ben, stats-wise, of course, which one stands out the most to you?
So stats, let's see. Oh, shots on goal. LAFC 25, Vancouver 5.
Well, that's total shots, 25-5, but the on goal was?
LAFC 11, Vancouver 2.
Yeah. I mean, 11 shots on target and two don't find their way in.
Yeah. Well, Crepeau. Yeah. I mean, that's the story of the night.
Yeah, but you could still put it a little bit away from him, right? You could curve it out a little bit. There's ways, right? There's 24 feet of net there, man. He's not Superman. You just got to place it a little better in the moment. And again, I just think it's very unfortunate. Yeah. It's not like they were hitting them wrong. The passes were off. It wasn't that at all. It was just not happening on the day. Bam, do you want to add into this, sir?
As I said, I didn't get to see much of the game. Just saw a little bit of the highlights.
Mm-hmm.
As you guys are saying, if we keep all three up front next year, I think it can be dynamic, but that involves keeping two DPs. I don't think we are.
Yeah, not for a raise, right? Vela's on an option year. Does he even take the option, or does he try to hold out for something more? And is that our goodbye? It's tough. It's tough. In case you guys want to know the expected goals, our expected goals in the day were 302. Theirs was 1. So they got what they expected. We didn't get ours, just so you know. Let's talk about Vela, because that's another story. After the game was over, all the families came out. It was a thank you to the families for putting up with the madness that a professional athlete has to go with in a very difficult season with COVID and all that fun stuff. And so the families got featured to end the match. What came off to me as a little bit odd or suspect, possibly, was Vela's approach to that moment, because it felt like a goodbye. And I don't know about you guys, and you can jump in this, but the way he came out to the north end, walked up to the goal with the family and kind of gave the wave. It didn't feel like a see you next season wave. It felt like something a little bit deeper. It just did. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but again, I'm not used to seeing him with his family waving goodbye to the North End, so that's why it strikes me a little bit different. Tony, look like you're chomping at the bit here. What is your take? Do you think that was a wave goodbye, or I'm reading too much?
I think it could have been a wave goodbye, because at the same time, like, you had like Jordan Harvey with his kids too. You know what I mean? His wife and like all of them running around. So, and we also know that this is probably Harvey's last season as a player with us, most likely. I see him going as a coach, but I do believe, unless there's some deal that LAFC gives him and that he accepts and we're willing to have, then I don't see him. Like I said, he's already shot himself in the foot when he talked in the MLS All-Star game. He's trying to do damage control. So I think I agree with you. It is a kind of a goodbye, because also I think he also commented on like again, this is I'll go with you. This is on Instagram. He commented on like something they said, but more of a farewell kind of thing instead of a, yeah, I'll see you next time kind of.
Yeah. And then the Instagram post from LAFC the next day, almost like farewell to the king, right? It just seemed a little funky.
Mm-hmm.
Ben, am I reading too much into this?
No, I mean, I think you might be right. And I think his exact comment was, thanks for everything to LAFC. So, that, I don't know. I mean, you don't say that to someone you're going to see like next year, So,
yeah, it felt weird. That's for sure. A melancholy vibe at the end of all of it. Yes. Bam. I know you weren't there, but the fact that Vela actually interacted with the North End, who would have thunk it?
To
a little
me,
weird, right?
It's not what he did to the North End. It's the wording of that post. It's the wording to me. It says that's it. He's moving on. That's the way I read into it. So going by that, might see him here in a couple of months. Might not. We don't know.
Again, the question is, a player that's missed 27 games over the past 2 seasons. Are you going to splash money on a player that's lost that many games, right? He's been out. You're like, oh, he's hurt. Well, yeah, he's hurt and he's on the wrong side of 30. That too. Do you sign a player based on nostalgia, or do you sign him on potential? It's tough. And I know what he can do. We know when he's healthy, he's the best player in the league. There's no question about that. But can he get healthy enough to be that best player in the league again? That one good run. 1 to go. And you give him 3 years for that one good run. That's the hard ask. With that being said, and I know the Twitterverse and everyone and dude, our lovely, amazing fans, they got something to say. So let's bring it to the family. All right, fam, let's get you into the mix here. Give us your thoughts. I'm going to go back a little bit in time. I know you want to go right into it, but here we go. LAFC Wolf fan gives his good evening. Good evening, sir. Mark Lopez in the mix. Marvin Chavez says, I had a feeling it was going to be a trap game. Vancouver always defends like all hell for the tie against LAFC. Here's the deal. They have an even record with us in their history. We don't have advantage on this team. They're even Steven with us. They are the trap for us. They have always been. Remember the Supporter Shield season? Who held us? Oh, yeah, those guys. Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's a thing. Mark Lopez. We need more. We need to move on from Vela. I'm over him. So there's your case from Mark. He also says, also me when Vela enters the pitch. If Vela runs us to the cup, I'm getting a Vela tat. Tats for Mark. Hey, Rich. Just saying. The finger points. You might need to give Mark a call. Oscar the Coyote. Good evening, everyone. Welcome, sir. Marvin Chavez. Ooh. Marvin says, this is the lineup I want to see with Vela in the 10. Where gold is?
Yeah, so he wants to see us line up like this.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. So 2 defensive midfielders, and a central attacking mid. Get used to that because I think that's what Colorado's going to throw our way today, tomorrow or Sunday. But yeah, I get that too. I like 2 defensive mids as well. Good stuff. Peace Mob. Yo, I made it. Yes, you did, sir. And he says, love the podcast. Look forward to it. Don't stop it after we win MLS Cup. Man, we ain't stopping. Who's stopping? You stopping, Ben? You're not stopping. Bam, you stopping? Nope. Tony, you stopping? Dang, see? Still breathing, guys. Good
Nope.
stuff. All love, Peace Mom. Thanks for dropping in, man. Good stuff. Add in more as we go. Mark Lopez looked like Vela was holding the ball too long for his own good, and when he would pass, he was expecting a give and go, but our attack doesn't revolve around him anymore. Lost in translation, right? Yeah, definitely it was a little uncomfortable. Again, getting into this. This team flies now, dude. There's a different speed to them now. Hooligan Ox in the house. Marvin Chavez throws out. Vela did pretty good, to be honest. Some more visionary type passes and controllable. Yeah, dude, he had a couple that were just sweet, well-weighted passes. The quality is I look at Fresco. He was next to me, and I'm like, dude, he still got the touch, man. It never goes away. Chavez says, I think Chicho, Rayo, Vela just need time to build chemistry. But I do think Chicho has to be selfish and not pass it too much to Vela. We trust him and he needs the confidence to be the main striker. That's the thing. But, Vela even made the statement of he wants to help him get more goals. He did say that he definitely wants to be the distributor to him because he's the hot hand. Like, why wouldn't you? Again, it's hard. It's crazy adjustment to have three players that are all 3 highly talented attacking options. And now they got to work together. Yeah. Alan Hernandez, will the altitude affect Vela more than the rest of the team since he's barely getting match fit? I think that's your question and answer right there when we talk about the Colorado match. Do you really, and we'll say it, do you really think Vela's going to start? I think it's unanimous in this panel that we don't. We don't. Not up there. That's horrible up there. I can't wait to be wheezing after 20 minutes. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Mark says the amount of beer people had to drink because we didn't get the second half goal we needed. So true. At least no micheladas hit me, though, so that's fine. The hat survived this week. Marvin says, it hurts thinking I was there and didn't realize that maybe be the last time for Vela. Oh, that was in my wheelhouse from the very get-go. Is this it? Is this it? Yeah. Maybe not. We will see. And Mark throws in, what are the chances we come back in March with pretty much the same squad? I would say little to none. There will be changes. They have their targets. One of those targets, I know they had some big targets already as early as August if things had played out for us. I know that they're in the market. I know that changes are necessary. The team is well aware of it. They know what they need to do. This is not a team that settles, okay? Injuries are injuries, man. You can't do much to control that, and that pretty much takes the ball out of your hand, right? But this team is not going to settle. If we miss the playoffs, expect explosions. They're not going to sit on that. We're not the Chicago Fire. Don't expect it. We're the highest value team in MLS, apparently. But, yeah, trust me. That's not, we're not here to be a tax shelter. There's more to it, guys. It's about football. Kevin Hernandez Rosales. Do you think LAFC will qualify for the playoffs? Oh, we'll talk about how they can. If I didn't think they could, I wouldn't spend crazy-ass money to fly up to Colorado at the last minute. I'll tell you that much. It's faith. I have faith in the boys that they'll find their way. So I'll be there. The fan hat comes on for sure. Marvin Chavez, if Chicho doesn't take a DP spot, I think it's worth keeping Rayo and Vela. Imagine getting a powerful midfield DP or another attacker DP. Yeah, right? The fact that you get another highly talented player is a beautiful thing. What I wouldn't give for a two-way player that beats the crap out of other teams. I'm just saying that's what I'm looking for.
What I'd like to see, and it will not happen, Vela realizes he's not a 9-minute player, gets rid of the DP so we can go get another 90-minute player, but comes on as a sub player.
I just don't see the ego. No. He's led. I just don't see it from him. He still sees this as his team until it's not. Right? That's football. Carlos C. They should work it out with Vela to come back, but he's not a 90-minute player anymore. Yeah, but do you tell him that, and is he gonna accept that? Vela's talking Europe. He's not talking 30 minutes. He's not Diego Valeri, who would die for Portland. I just don't see that happening. Here we go. Carlos C. In hindsight, Vela played a lot of minutes in 2018, 2019. The recent injuries are not all that surprising, considering how much he played and the beatings he took. That and the long layoff, I think, just destroyed him in a way, because he didn't play in Orlando, right? He took all that extra time off away from it, not in the training sessions in Orlando while they were there for all that time, and came late back, right? It's so hard. And then he did get a good run for a short period of time and then another layoff. So he's kind of bringing himself to match fitness in an off season. So this is the inconsistencies take a toll. That's for sure. Marvin says Vela is money over team. I would dare to find who isn't a mercenary in this sport. They play for money. That's what they do. Right? They're mercenaries. Yes, some of them love us. Most of them love us, but at the end of the day, if you're a footballer, you got to look out for number one. You're not out there for very long in your career. So I can't get mad at him for going for money if he's going to get it. you got to do what you got to do. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Thank you guys for the amazing contributions. We'll be jumping on with a few more things that we're going to cover, which gives us a chance to transition into the club and community news. Tony, what have you got for us this week?
So what I got for this week is this Sunday, if some of you guys aren't in Colorado, which I hear there's about over 100 people going, there is at the bank at 10 a.m. from 12:30. There's going to be a lunch bag and care kit assembly. So if you haven't been part of these, it's pretty much you volunteer and you pretty much build a lunch bag and a care kit for people in need of it. I don't know who this one's going to. It's usually homeless, teachers. I think one of them was street vendors as well. So if you have time on Sunday before the game, and because of course we don't have to worry about the East Coast, so you don't have to worry about that decision day, go to the bank and just help out.
I mean, decision day on the East Coast is like at 12:30.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll be done. You'll be done already, right? And then we're at 3 local time. So yeah, that's right. Work some of those nerves out by creating things. It's good. It's good. Cool, man. Any other things to bring up for community news, sir?
So if you didn't get it, there was 2 releases that happened on Dia de Muertos. One was the Born and Raised scarf. If you weren't able to get it online, you were able to get it at 4 at the HQ, and I heard that sold out quickly as well.
It did, but they were very fair. It was like 1 item per person. Like it was super, super fair. So I give them that.
Mm-hmm. Nobody killed anybody yet. We didn't that we know of. But the other thing was they did a Day of the Dead skull for LAFC made by our newly listener and new friend Ernesto.
Hey, Ernesto.
Yeah, so shout out to him. Nice meeting you in the North End when you got brought by. But it was a really cool thing. It was a really so it was a limited 48-hour run of it, and he only made how many people ordered, so you can be 1 to whoever the last person is. So it was a really cool thing. It's a really cool thing to have as a print. As you see behind me, I have a lot of prints as well, so it's kind of a cool little decor that you need in your house if you need one more LAC swag.
There it is. It's beautiful too, and all the little surprises within the skull, within the calavera, is really cool. There's a little burning heart there in their supporter, which this show likes. I like. The yin and yang was in there. The MLS Cup was in there. Palm trees. It's just a lot of good vibes, a lot of feel for who we are, what we do. He really did catch it. That's for sure. He captured it. So good on Ernesto, man. Thank you, man, for doing that. It was gorgeous. That's for sure. There's another release coming out soon, right, Tony? I'm always scared to talk about this release, but there is another one, right?
So there is a new LAFC Samba coming out, as they call it, 2.0. Now, these one goes more along with our away jerseys. It's a white. It's more of a, what would you call it? What do they call it? Like
rose gold.
Yeah,
Well, it's
rose gold. Yeah, it's the
designed
kit
for
right
this.
there. Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's the away jersey of this new one, the Heart of LAFC, or the LAFC jersey, right? I mean, the community jersey.
Heart of LA. The Heart of LA, right? Jersey.
Yeah.
How convenient. Just
exactly. But that comes out November 13th. And again, same thing goes with it. It's very limited. It's going to be sold the same way it was for the first strap. So Adidas.com, Nike Sports, WSS Warehouse.
Yes, that's how it expands. WSS is selling them. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think they had them last
year.
There
are more this time. White, there's an extra distributor, WSS. They didn't get them last year, so there's another option to get them. Okay, so there's a little bit more in terms of the shoes. Doesn't mean it's not going to sell out in a flash, because the faithful, we all crazy. We're all nuts when it comes to new products, especially Sambas. Like, let's be real, Sambas. We're the only ones with Sambas, so at least in MLS. So yeah. Get them while they're hot, because I think it's going to fly. I have a feeling people are going to be waiting really early in the morning outside of these stores to get them. I can't blame you. They're gorgeous. They are gorgeous. So different. Not a normal color that I would normally run with, but when they match this, how do you go for it? Yeah, gorgeous stuff. So Bam's like, how do I get a hold of these things?
Right? I'll be up early in the morning online just spamming.
Yeah, dude, they're gonna be cool. I gotta say, they did another good job. But let's see how it all plays out. I just hope it's not gone in a pre-sale and that's done for and everybody's mad and we have another situation. Because one thing I have noticed, every time we release a new product and they sell out too quickly and there's a game, karma tends to bite us. So just saying, I don't think is it a coincidence that two sales situations that kind of turn people off end up in a bad karma result? I don't know. Don't release things on game days. No. It is what it is. So more products to come. I'm sure there's some new other products. And of course, if you want to get your black kits from this last season, I think they're still 50% off right at the team store. So they're dumping those things, which you know what that means. I can't wait for the spring. Yeah, we're getting rid of those 3 stripes here and finally get something that's uniquely ours, not everybody else's. So good. Cool. So on to the Black and Gold Vinyl Club minute. Do you guys have any nominations? I haven't even discussed it with you guys. Like, what have you got? Look at, they're like, dude, I didn't think about it. Yeah. Does anybody have one? Because I kind of went blank on this one. I ain't gonna lie.
Journey, Don't Stop Believing.
Oh boy, Don't Stop Believing. I'm gonna throw one up here. Where is it at? I was thinking about The Bravery. I believe This Is Not the End, right? I believe that's, yeah. So I'll go with that one. The Bravery. I'm choosing The Bravery. So yeah, that'll be me. I think that's the Sun and Moon Complete album, right? 2008 release, I believe. So there you go. Who doesn't like The Bravery? Bam, you like The Bravery, right?
They're not too bad.
Not too bad. Yeah. So that's good. Cool. So
Before we move on,
are we there? Yeah, go for it.
A couple of little things. First off, congratulations to Chicho for making the Colombian national team for the next World Cup qualifiers. So go congratulate him on that. Seems like players come to us and then go to national teams. That's how it goes.
Dude, we
And a
make
quick-
stars.
Exactly. And a quick Rossi watch. He was a sub in the 64th minute this morning in the 3-0 win away to Royal Antwerp in the Europa League. And his next game is 9 a.m. Sunday, LA time, at home to Kesnapor.
Okay. I can't even pronounce the name of that team, so I'm going to be nice about it. All good things. He keeps playing well, right? I mean, he's getting good reviews, right? It sounds like they're happy.
He is.
Yeah?
His last home game in the Turkish league, he was an early sub, so that wasn't too good. But he plays for more minutes in Europa League, so that's good.
There it is. So he's still getting his minutes. He's not getting cut down. He didn't get benched. Now you got to realize. I know you look at the reactions of the supporters of his side. That Turkish football, it's normal for supporters to run hot and cold. There's no medium. There's no medium. So get used to it. One game you're hated, the next game you're loved. That's how it works in that league. It's very volatile. It's what makes the support so beautiful and crazy, right? And the atmosphere, because it's hot and cold. It's good. It's cool. I love it. Edge. I love the edge. So, I think he's doing good so far. Too many goals not to say he's doing good. Too many assists because he's definitely setting stuff up. So, good on him. Ben, anything else you want to add in there before we get into the decision day breakdown?
No, I'm good. Let's get into it. I'm really excited to talk
Okay.
decision day.
I know. So decision day is upon us. Things didn't go quite as planned in the match before, which puts us in the moment of, yes, you've got to win. That's simple. So let me look at this here, getting into our standings as this thing slowly loads. Now, I'm not going to tell you guys about percentages of getting into the playoffs because guess what? None of that matters anymore. The calculations don't exist. It's football. It's winning. It's getting your job done. So in the Western Conference, this is how it stands. First place with 59 points is Seattle. Second place, 58 points, Kansas City. Tied with, of course, Colorado with 58 points. Yes, we're playing a team that's second in the league. Yes. Or in the West. 58 points. Portland at 52. The one team that knows they're going pretty much nowhere. No matter what happens, they're finishing fourth. So there's that. Then you got Minnesota with 48 points, Vancouver with 48 points in the 6th seed. Holding the last spot is Carson with 47 points. You're like, okay, all right, cool. Well, here comes the fun part. RSL completely screwed the pooch. They blew it 2 games in a row. Didn't get the job done. As a result, they're stuck at 45 points. Like us at 45 points. They do hold a tiebreaker against us. Why? Because they've got 13 wins. We've only got 12. In terms of the other guys looking at it, Minnesota's got 13. Carson's 13. Vancouver is 12. So they don't have any advantage on us at all there. So that is your story. Okay. Now, what does that mean for us? What's the big breakdown? Now, I mentioned the tiebreakers because you got to know. You're thinking, well, doesn't head-to-head mean anything in this? It means absolutely nothing. Head-to-head, apparently to MLS, has no importance at all. It is all about these. 1, goal differential or goal differential. Actually, sorry, total wins is the first one. So whoever has the most wins in the tiebreaker, they move on. They got more wins in the season. So they count that more than anything else. Goal differential per match, or just overall goal differential will be your next one. Goals for after that. Then it's fewest disciplinary points per match, which I find completely dumb why that would be in the list, but that's there. Then away goals differential per away match. See, that should be more weighted than disciplinary points, whatevs. Away goals per away match, home goal differential, and then home goals per home match. They're confusing at this point. Finally, the 8th one, the last one, would be coin toss. Yeah, I know that's on there. Or even worse, drawing of lots. So like the short end of the stick, Yeah, quite literally the short end of the stick. Someone could pull the short end of the stick. I know it's crazy. MLS has these rules. It ain't getting to 8, and we'll tell you why. All right. So you're like, well, what does this mean? Of course, we're going to watch our team. That's what we do. But if you're going to have a second screen, there's a few games you need to watch because they will define our season. See, we always talk about winner you're in. That's not entirely true. Okay, there is a way for us to win and still not make it to the show, and we'll talk about that. So let's break it down. First and foremost, the team you got to watch, or the game that's going to have crazy billing and could cost somebody their season, would be Minnesota at Carson. You're like, well, why? Again, Minnesota's at 48 points. They have 13 wins, and they're a -2 goal differential. Make a mental note of that. Carson, 47 points, 13 wins, -4. Their goal differentials are all terrible, which is good news for us because our goal differential is the best of the bunch. Yeah. Minnesota is in if they secure a draw. It's that simple. That's all they need is a draw. Carson secures a spot with a win. They do not secure a spot with a draw. It is too tight. They'd have to wait and see. A win gets them in, a draw, not quite enough. Doesn't mean they're going to still make it, but then they got to rely on other results. Vancouver, 48 points, plays against Seattle, 59 points. And you're like, oh, well, Seattle's got this. No. You saw what Vancouver does. They survive. That's what they do. So they've got 48 points, 12 wins. Seattle, 59 points, 17 wins, plus 20 goal differential. The favorite to take the West, except they're not taking the West quite yet. They have to get a result, okay? So what does that mean? Vancouver does secure the playoffs with a draw. With a draw, they get in. I know, it's frustrating. Seattle, though, they need a win too. They need a win. If they don't get the win, there's a good chance they get passed on the last day and they lose that bye. They don't want to do that, so they have to play to the death on this one as well. And everybody gets a long break before the playoffs, so all to play for. All to play for. Next one you got to watch, of course, is RSL at Sporting Kansas City. RSL sits on 45 points with 13 wins and a 0 goal differential. SKC, 58 points, 17 wins, plus 19 goal differential. They got some work to do, but they can still catch and take the West. So, again, there's no throwaway game here. Someone's got to play for keeps. You can't walk away from it. What does that mean? Well, RSL must win to go in. Like us, they're on the outside looking in. They do hold a tiebreaker with Vancouver. So if they somehow tied in the standings, they have the edge. You need to know this because this is going to play out later when we talk about scenarios. Colorado must win for a shot at either number 1 or number 2. Well, we'll talk about that later. But SKC must win for the chance at the first. That's simple. They want to get first. Then it comes to us, 45 points. 12 wins, plus 5 goal differential. That's the lovely thing, the plus 5. That's our one advantage because wins are not. And Colorado's got 58 points, 16 wins, plus 13. They're the third man in a way, trying to get to that top seed. Again, we must win. We do hold several tiebreakers, but not all of them. One other team does have one on us, and I'll talk about that in a few. Colorado must win for a shot at number 1 or number 2. So they lose, no chance. If they tie, probably not going to get it. So they need a win. They're going to play us to the death. Now, there are some ways that all the results could shock everybody. The underdogs win every game, and what we call a chaos scenario ensues. So there could be a 4-way tie when this is all said and done for the 6th and 7th seed. What? Yeah. And at that point, it goes to tiebreakers. Yes, a 4-way tie. How? You're like, well, there's 2 opportunities for this 4-way tie. The first one, say Minnesota loses, Vancouver loses, RSL wins, and LAFC wins, right? Okay. RSL could get the 6th, LAFC could get the 7th. You're like, you didn't talk about Carson. Doesn't matter. They could be up to the 5th spot if depending on what they do in this. Again, Minnesota has to lose, so that means Carson has to win. So you can just assume they're the 5th seed. So that can happen. And then you have the chaos of all these teams tying. The other thing is, if Vancouver loses, Galaxy draws this time, RSL wins and LAFC wins, RSL gets 6th, we get 7th. The Gals go home, right? Carson out at that point because they need to get a win. And Minnesota finds their way and survives in the 5th seed. So those are your 2 chaos scenarios. It can happen. Don't tell me it can't. It can happen. This is MLS. So there's your chaos scenario. In both cases, good for us. That means we sneak into the playoffs. So cool. Well, who's the guys that can mess it all up for us and create a nightmare scenario? There's that one team. The team we just played. Our enemies. Vancouver. Okay? By not getting a result against Vancouver, you gave a team a chance to take us out of the playoffs. Even if we get a win. They're the team that can take us out. You're like, really? How? Well, here you go. If Vancouver wins or draws, the Galaxy win, RSL wins, and we win. I know. It would end with Vancouver at 51 points, the Galaxy at 50, RSL at 48, LAFC at 48, and Minnesota at 48. And you're like, ooh, okay. We're ahead of Minnesota. Yeah, that's great, but they're 9th. We're the 8th seed at that point. That means we don't go. RSL sneaks in with the last spot. Vancouver and Galaxy sneak in. So there is a chance. There is a chance that no matter what we do this weekend, we're still watching the playoffs on TV. I know. Don't be the Debbie Downer. I know. But what you got to hope for is you got to root a little bit for some Rave Green in this day. Okay? You need Seattle to win the day. You need Seattle to win the West. Simple as that. You have to root for them to get the bye. I know them. We hate them. I get it. But they got to win. If they get a win and take Vancouver out, then we got our chance. But if Vancouver gets points out of that, then there's a scenario that gets us bumped. That's, of course, assuming that the Galaxy get their result. RSL, which has been playing terrible, gets a result. There's no promise of that. Because RSL is that other danger team for us. Because it requires an RSL win to bounce us out. Because that's one team that also holds it on us. So RSL losing would be good for us anyway. Then we don't have to worry about the nightmare scenario either. So either one. I'll take both and makes it even nicer. So that is my crazy chaos theory look at what's going on to get into the playoffs. I know I went crazy on this. I couldn't help but do it because why not? Ben, what is your impressions beyond looking crazy at me right now?
Oh man, well, it looks like we need some help. Even if we win, there's a chance that we're out. So hopefully, these teams can give us a hand, and hopefully we can get the 3 points and give ourselves a chance to at least make the playoffs. It looks like if we do make the playoffs, looks maybe like the 6th, 7th seed. Potentially a rematch with Colorado if we make the 6th seed, right? Because they'll be 3rd.
Yeah,
so it'll be a rematch.
Yeah, so it's either you're playing what, Portland, or no, Colorado, I guess, right?
Colorado.
Well, Kansas City or
Kansas City or Seattle or whoever, yeah.
Yeah, unless you can pump it all the way to 5th, right? Which I don't think that's going to happen the way things falling out. So 6th or 7th, what we got to settle for. But here's something nice. Guess what? Those teams that'll likely be in those positions to play us, we've beaten this year.
Yeah.
And we kind of wrecked one. So that's a good thing. We get results. And both of them are teams that don't bunker. They play. And when teams play us, it actually falls to advantage. We like teams that come at us. We're better that way. Bunkering teams are the problem for us, as you can tell against Vancouver. So, yeah, it's gonna be hard. We got to win against a team looking to take the West, who's not the same team we played earlier this year. Just win. That's all we can do, and then let it all fall.
Mm-hmm.
It all begins with a win. It all begins with a win. RSL's in the same boat. The story's over. If they don't win, we have nothing to worry about if we get our win because it's done for at that point because they're the one team that can really hurt us. So that's it. Beat Colorado. End of the day, that's all you got to do. Hard to do, but that's your story. And root for Seattle a little bit. Put it in your heart to root for them a little bit. I know I never want to hope for a Western Conference title for those guys or any type of accolades or bye, but It's the one moment where I have to sell my soul and go, fine, Rave Green get the win. So that's the story. Now you know the tiebreakers. Now you know the ugliness. I see Mark's like we need. I'll just throw his comment. We need an algorithm to live calculate on decision day. Hard to hold all these scenarios in my head. What's going to be really funny is FotMob's going to attempt this. If you don't have FotMob as an app, please get it. FotMob's going to have a live standing. They constantly do the live standing. Let's see how well this. They're going to break it this week, I think. But they will have a live algorithm. They have live standings. So check it out. And I have a funny feeling that MLS is going to attempt it as well, because they said they're going to whip around with live standings. So yeah, and I think one viewing party that people are going to this weekend might do it as well. So yes, the other thing, I'm sure Tony over there, because Tony, what are you going to say, man? Are you gonna set some scenarios up and post them for people? Is that what's going on?
That's gonna be Bam.
That's on Bam this week. So yes, Bam has said he's going to jump on and do this. So Bam, we salute you. We pray for you as well.
Yeah. So if you're not following
Bam,
if you're not following Heart of LAFC on Twitter, follow, put on notifications, because I'm going to have our game on this screen. Over here on this screen, I have every other game, but the two that aren't important, which is the Portland game and the Dallas game. They're nothing games. No matter what happens, nothing worries for us. No. So I'll be tweeting out, we're in, we're out, we're in, we're out, we're in, we're out. For the whole, as long as something happens, I'll be tweeting what happened and whether we're in or we're out.
Cautionary tale. If you're standing in Colorado with me, do not be checking your phone. We need you to sing. Please. Please, for the sake of the club, we'll check our phones at the end of this damn thing. Just get the win. We got to push it through. So, that's reality. Now we know Bam's got us covered. Which now we talked about it. Who the heck are we playing? That's what we got to know. So that's what we're jumping on to next. Is what are we gonna do? So Colorado comes on. They're at home, at altitude, nothing but trouble. Tony, how are they doing this year?
So we did play them so long ago. It feels like a whole nother year or so, but they've been on a good hot streak. As you know, the main point is just they're battling for first. It was one of those things where they were okay with third or fourth, and the scenario now just came up that they can actually go for the first seat. So again, they are a really good team. Their midfield is a really dynamic midfield going forward, with someone we're really familiar with. That couple people that we were familiar with, especially one person who would like to stick it to a lot of LAFC Twitters after this game. But so they're in really good form, and the scariest part of the whole thing, and just to break it down, they are for the last 14 games at home, they have not lost. They've either tied or won. They have not lost at home. So that's what we're going into.
An actual fortress, people. It is a fortress at high altitude. Okay. It is real grass, though. This is good. But breathing is a story. So there we go. So they're battling, like I said, for first seed. What's the good, the bad, and the ugly of these guys?
So they are. So the good thing about them is they have Mark Anthony K. He's doing well for them. He actually fits that system. It was one of those things where I like Mark Anthony K. He wasn't like he did a lot of great for his community. He did everything for it. Unfortunately, there are with any fandom people who, if you mess up enough times, they will turn on you, and he just couldn't stay off social media and ignore it. But again, here we do love him, everything he's done for the community. He's doing well. The bad is they've kept the most clean sheets. Like I said, Fortress 13 this season. So it's gonna be very difficult just to get past their defense, past their their goalkeeper and everything. So, and they score like 1.4 goals a game. So it's gonna be a hard, rough, freezing battle. When they say winter is coming, winter is coming.
Oh yeah, it could be a battle of Hoth, people. We don't know. It's Colorado weather. It changes at the last second, so it could be a freezer game. I know their staff has already warned the 3252, like, hey, you better bring warm stuff because it could turn. So we'll see. We'll see what this is going to turn into. 14 game. That's crazy. That's nuts. But whatever. It's us. We got to break these things. Bam, what was the last match for Colorado? What were they up to?
So the last match for Colorado, they had a 1-0 win away to Houston. Now it's Houston. They finished last in the West, so can't really take too much from that. The highlight from the game was the only goal came in the 58th minute by Baggio. Some of the key stats, possession, Houston had them up 60-40. Shots on goal, 12-10, with both having 6 on target. Crosses really stands out. Houston had 22-10 crosses. So they were bombing them in. Corners, Houston were up 7-4. Fouls, Houston had 11. Colorado had 10. Both with 3 yellows. Total team expected goals, 0.5 and 0.4. Yet there's still a goal scored in that.
Yeah, they went above the expected goals by Baji. So, yeah, they found a way. Good stuff, Bam. I'm looking at that stat going, well, if Houston can do that to them, you know the effectiveness of our guys. If we do that to them, something's going to fall, right? Assuming something would fall. So there, fall with a header. Just saying, wouldn't that be beautiful? So that's that. Again, we did beat them this year, but it was a very different team, a very different situation. Robin Fraser has these guys moving well. So who's out, Bam? Are they missing anybody? I looked at the list. I didn't see a single name. Are they really not missing anybody?
Acosta and Rosenberry have missed the last 2 games for them. They should be back. Whether they are or not, time will tell.
Right. So it's like a Vela situation. They can play, but will they? All right. Well, that being said, what to expect from them? Well, in the last match, they played a 5-3-2, but let's be real. Those outside backs were actually wing backs. What? Yes. They looked a lot like what we do, except they like to drop in 2 deep in their mid and 1 high. So like a central attacking mid in many cases. But sometimes it looks even flat in that mid because of who's out there. Now, there have been matches where they've played the 3-4-2-1. That's like 2 attacking mid, which we know what that's about because we've kind of done that, except, again, it's deceptive because the guys on the outside for that 4 were their wing backs. Not a shock. It's just them choosing whether they want 2 high or 1 high in their mid. There you go. And if they do that, then they only go 1 striker rather than 2 striker. So they're having moments of that. Now, what's a probable lineup for this match? The one certainty is William Yarbrough will be in goal. No doubt about that. He's going to be your goalkeeper. Left wing back, most likely, is Lucas Estevez. Center back, Austin Trusty and Danny Wilson and Lalas Abubakar. Those are your 3 center backs. Right wing back, hey, this is a familiar name. The one, the only, Stephen Beitashour. Hey, our old buddy. Yes, we decided not to sign. Kind of regretting that. He's playing right wing back. Yeah, right. Versatile right wing back. Your midfielder, your left center mid will be Mark Anthony K. Yes, that Mark Anthony K. Center mid will be Jack Price. This is the guy that's trouble for everyone. He's been tearing it up in the league this year. Really the engine for them. And then right center mid is Eunice Namli, Danish player. There are some options, though, when you look in the mid, because they've also used Nicholas Mesquida, Colin Warner, and Andre Shinyashiki, especially earlier in the year. Shinyashiki was getting a lot of play time. Don't be surprised if he goes in for Eunice Namli. Could happen. So there's openings there. Now, the striker situation. If they go with 2 strikers, you have Dominic Baji and Michael Barrios. Barrios is the story. He's kind of their Chicho Arango. The stats are pretty similar between the two, even though there's a lot less games played by our own Chicho. Those 2 are your dominant players, but of course, there's also Diego Rubio who could shift in, and there's been games where Diego Rubio has played as a sole striker. Okay, so yeah, they have 3 options up top. Legit options up top. We're not sure. I'm thinking Baji Barrios, but Rubio is who he is. He's a great player. So, yeah. Off the bench, you have Cole Bassett, another central attacking mid. Jonathan Lewis, another central attacking mid. Diego Rubio, like we mentioned. Andre Sinyashiki, like we mentioned. He could start. Both could start. Drew Moore, he did play some minutes in the last match, so expect him to be a sub in the D. Clint Irwin on the bench in goal. Jeremy Kelly, center mid. Mesquita, we mentioned already. Colin Warner, like I said, could come in for Price late if Price is tired. Kellen Acosta is the mystery man, whether he gets into that lineup. If he does, it's trouble for us if he's healthy. And then Keegan Rosenberry is a right back, which would be Beta Shore's replacement potentially. We'll see who gets to start there. So no injuries for them. Plenty of options. They could shuffle the heck out of this lineup, and what we see right now could be very different. But we do know that they do prefer the wing back situation. They do prefer the 3 mid doing their job. Sometimes it's a little more, right? And they go 1 striker. But I'm thinking if I'm going to make a prediction, they're going to match us. That's what they're going to do. Play us head to head and try to take us down. Do I expect them to bunker? Nope. I expect them to take the game to us. They have the unit, the players to do that now. Houston, they did kind of play counter, which is a little strange, but I guess it's because they were in Houston. But now it's in the Fortress, right? It's at home. So I expect them to push us, try to catch us. Again, the 15-minute curse. Let's hope it doesn't continue, but they know about that too. Guarantee it. They'll try to bloody our noses early and try to take this thing. That should be the story. Ben, do you want to add anything to this lineup situation and what we're facing?
No, I mean, I think you pretty much covered it. I think those are pretty much the regular starters. I'm interested to see what Mark Anthony K is going to come out with, what kind of attitude he's going to bring. Is he going to have a chip on his shoulder? Is he going to, get in there and get dirty and maybe get in our faces, try to prove himself that, they made a mistake in letting him go? I don't know. Do you think there's something there with K and LAFC?
Oh no, there's definitely some bad blood.
Yeah.
I don't think it's between players.
Okay.
No. I think it's the fans. I think it's the way he was treated on the way out. There was a huge disrespect towards him from many. At least that's how he feels. Of course, discounting the fact that he wasn't playing well at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, he wasn't earning his role. He wasn't. Let's be honest. He was not. And so, yeah, I think he walks away feeling a little bit bitter about it because he's had some big moments with us, and it was kind of like out with the garbage, right? Let's be real.
Could you imagine him scoring a goal and then celebrating in front of you guys? Could you see that happen?
I don't want to ever imagine that.
Ben, what did he do in Adebayo?
Yeah, exactly.
I know historically we do have issues with former players, right? And this isn't good for us. This has happened. I know they play up when they play against us. I would say this.
Would he celebrate?
I can't wait for him.
Or he'll be like sorry.
Oh, no. He'll celebrate. 100% he'll celebrate. He will celebrate. I don't see it any other way. He celebrates. The way he left, the way he was playing games on Twitter, using Beta Shore's account too, tells me there's an edge there. So, yeah. What I will enjoy seeing is Raheem Edwards getting under his skin in this game. Because that's going to be a fun little battle. Yeah. Be a beautiful battle. I think Raheem... I'll say it right now, will be way, way more intense with him and a little bit smarter, I could say, not losing his cool in the moment, right? Could take a yellow against him, but he knows his limitations, where Mark Anthony K in the past has not known his limitations and lost his gameplay out of temper. So do I expect our guys to go after him? 100%, I think they will go after him.
Well, do you think Edwards plays in the midfield with Sifu coming back, or
I would think super sub. I think sub comes in. Again, we're playing at altitude. He's going to get minutes. I guarantee you he's getting minutes. Do I think he's going to start? Probably not. But he is getting minutes when we need him. Mark Anthony K is expected to go the full measure, I'm sure, against us. So they'll get their moments. Yeah, that's for sure. And don't put it past Sifu, because Sifu gets stuck in all the time as well. So if it's Sifu, he's going to go after him. Expect Latif to go after him.
Yeah.
And if Atuesta actually gets to play, which we haven't said that, right?
Yeah.
He's still, I think, listed injured. Dude, no one's holding back. No. We got to get to the playoffs, man. No love. For 90 minutes, no love. After, I guarantee he's going to switch a jersey with somebody. There's going to be all kinds of hugs after the match. But during the match, it's war. Expect that. Tony, impressions?
It's going to be a hard game, to be honest. Like, it's decision day. It's bad blood. Again, if anybody's ever done, they always talk about it in football, that high altitude is always like a big thing. You know what I mean? So it's going to affect a lot, especially Vela. I do expect K to celebrate in front of us if he does score. I just see it, you know what I mean? And then the whole LAFC Twitter is just gonna lose its mind. But like I've been saying, let's just handle our business and win.
Yeah, that's it, right? Business. It's business. Bam. What's your take?
He scores, he's going to celebrate, and he deserves to celebrate. With the way you could say he was driven out by LFC Twitter, I don't put it past him. And in a way, I'd appreciate it. Of the big, you pushed me out, you could have had me, a nice big up yours.
And of course, in a perfect mafia movie, we're all looking at him as the target. And the one guy that was ultimately jilted by the club was Steven Beitashour, and he comes in the side and takes you out. Right? You're all looking at this punch, and here comes that side one. Beitashour's the guy, right? That's my head. It's like, yeah, you all know the real target. It's not going to be Mark Anthony K. It's going to be Beitashour on the overlap, going after a not so strong left side of our defense. So just saying, be careful there. And he knows how to cross a ball. So, yeah, we don't like those. So that's what I worry more about when I see this lineup. That, of course, brings it to our lineup. And what the heck are we going to feel out there? I know a lot of stuff is out in the open, but I can guarantee, and I think you all agree, even if Atuesta is ready to go, is he really ready to go? No, right? That's not happening. So the question is, what is the lineup going to look like for us? And Ben, I'm putting you on the spot first. What do you see getting fielded for this match?
So I think it's going to be the same lineup as last game, for the exception of Sifu starts in the midfield with Blessing and Cheeky, and I would actually put Raheem on the left wing back for Farfan, and everything else remains the same. That's my opinion. What do you guys think?
I like it. Bam.
That's what I was going to say. Exactly what I was going to say.
Tony?
I totally agree. The same thing.
Dang. So it's like instant agreement. Like not even a debate, people? Wow. Okay. So you guys are going to say Blackman in goal. Murillo, Fall, and Ibiaga is your center backs?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Kim as your right wing back. Okay. Farfan gets replaced by Edwards. All right. Your midfield then would be Palacios, Blessing, and Sifu.
Yeah.
All right. And Rodriguez and Arango up top?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I would think this would be good because then Edwards gets out there in a game that's going to be very rough. We need the rough and tumble play from him when he needs to do so. He can turn on, turn off. He's very good about that. That could make sense. But I mean, Farfan acquitted himself well in the last game. He did. I think they both get to play in this. Let's be real. You're playing at altitude. All 5 subs will be used tactically no matter what the scoreline is because people are going to get tired.
Mhm.
It's just, what do you want to start with? Do you want to hold? Do you want to go at them? That's the hard ask. I think you guys are right about the midfield. I don't think there's any question. Up top's real. The back line with Ibiaga, I mean, he hasn't gotten a lot of starts, right? So do you think it's a certainty that he gets out there? Or that weird thing where they throw Farfan in and it messes it all up?
We'll see. Not sure about that one. I mean, Farfan could play at center back, but I think Ibiaga's been doing okay. I mean, he hasn't been doing too bad in my opinion. He gets the job done.
He had some good clearances in the last game. He
Mhm.
did. He really did. He timed stuff up really well, was really well organized, made some good decisions. Yes, the goal happened, and I have a hard time faulting him on the play just because it was so off on the counter. Yes, the wrong foot was used, the challenge, right?
Mhm.
But, dude, yeah, he was kind of meat anyway, to be real. So, good stuff. Substitutions, who do you think is coming in? Because that's also going to be important. Who's your impact throughout this game?
I would assume Carlos Vela comes in, maybe gives us 45, 30 minutes. Who else can come in there?
Moose.
Musovski,
Moose, Duke,
Mhm.
potentially.
Duke. Yeah, I mean that's it, right?
Farfan, if Farfan's not starting, and then maybe Blackman as a shutdown.
Blackman. Yeah.
If we're chasing Angelina,
Maybe. I think Moose is your chaser. No matter what, Moose
Yeah.
comes in as a chase. And then could it switch to a 4-3-3 if that's the case? I do think that's highly likely.
Do you think Bob and the coaches are going to be scoreboard watching?
No. I really no. Because they know they have one mission to win. It doesn't really matter otherwise. It's one mission. You have to win. Who cares what the other teams are doing? In all likelihood, a win gets you in. There's that one team that can hurt you, and they're playing a team that's better than they are that needs to win it. So who cares, really? And you need 2 teams to do well because Salt Lake, who's been terrible in the lead up to decision day. Do I expect them to do anything in their match? No, I don't. I expect them to lose again. I do. So knowing that, they just got to get right. They got to get their heads right, get through the first 15 minutes, and take the game over.
Mhm.
I don't think I'm off in that. I don't see them even worrying. Will we be worrying? Yeah. The fans, you should worry, right? That's what we do. I guarantee you my phone's out at halftime and I'm already checking the live stats and okay, what's next? What has to happen? And then I realize it's MLS and the first half is usually meaningless in most of these games and things go topsy-turvy in the second half because defending is not the greatest in this league. So yeah, second half's everything. So for all of you that are going, I saw this morning there were still about 13, 14 tickets still available. If you use a supporter code, they were still out this morning that I saw. So maybe they're gone by now. I don't know. But if you were itching to go, it looked like there might still be some tickets out and about. So right. Tony, thoughts, my friend? You ready for this?
It's the best I'll ever be, to be honest. Like, it's one of those things where you never know what's going to happen until it happens, and you're going to be sad one second, happy the next. It's going to be, this is actually, I was talking to my friend about this. This is the closest we can get to getting demotion to in MLS. This is the closest thing.
Yeah, I'll be real. Some of my favorite football that I love to watch is the promotion playoffs in England. Like, I love watching promotion playoffs. They're so exciting, right? And also the relegation playoff in the Bundesliga is always entertaining And again, one's dying and one's trying to pull them down, and it's the drama. Well, we're here now. Colorado has a chance at glory after a long season where it didn't start so great for them. That they could shock everybody and get a bye. Like, that would be huge for their club's history and what they've been through, especially Robin Fraser and the ups and downs he's had with this side. And finally, it's the way he wants it to be. So they have a huge chance. And we, of course, have never missed the playoffs before and don't intend to. That ain't us. That was never going to be us. And now we're here. So all the drama will be beautiful. I have a feeling, I shouldn't even say it because it probably won't go true, but a certain team that's been gloating this week will not be in the playoffs when this is all said and done. And has been making fun of us pretty much all week. I got this funny feeling that it's going to be them at the end of the day that doesn't go. And then I can just laugh for hours and hours and hours because karma, right? There it is. Big mouth. So, yeah. I can't wait for it. This is the craziest decision day. Again, nervous decision day, but this is the first time decision day feels proper. It really does. So why did we do this? So, again, 12:30 East, 3 p.m. West, right? Pacific time? Yeah, 3. Okay. And then those of you going to Colorado, also, the time is changing, so you guys get an extra hour to party. Yeah, right? Drops back. So be careful of that too when you're trying to go to the game. Just saying, don't miss this thing. Don't mess it all up. So there is that. All right, let's bring it into the fam. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Oh, boys, where are you at here? I'm going to go way back. Marvin Chavez, I ain't mad. Love him. He's talking about Vela. I just thought that was funny, so I had to throw it up there. Carlos C. Short window to make their money. Exactly. Their Ernesto P. Super affordable. He hooked it up. Exactly. From Mark. Eric. Where can I see a picture of these? He's talking about the Sambas. Maybe, trust me, you're going to see them everywhere because the promotions are coming.
Shoulder to shoulder, Instagram.
Yeah. Some of the supporters are throwing them out there too. Casuals, Los Angeles. I saw they had it up there. If you got that account, it's kind of a account to follow after vintage shoes. So there you go. Marvin Chavez, would you want Rossi back from alone as a DP again with Rayo and Vela? I know he's doing pretty well and most likely won't return, but just curious in opinions. No, I want the money. No, I would feel bad for Rossi if he had to come back. I would feel sorry for him. Okay. He's put in his work. He's earned his time with us. He's earned this opportunity. I don't want to see him lose it. I wish nothing for nothing except the best, I'll say, for him. Because I do want to see him move up. I want to see him make a great career of it. He's done his time for us. Right? Songs and all. He's earned that for sure. Carlos C. An unhappy Rossi wouldn't be a good thing. Him staying in Europe is the best case scenario. Yes. He's graduated from the program. Marvin Chavez, ready to return better from Europe. Humbled him. Yeah, but yeah. We wanted him to stay there too, guys. LA Wolf fan, I see Rayito doing way better. Sadly, he didn't score, but he has been attacking, defending. Yeah, his last game was his best game. Most complete performance. I know he didn't score a goal, but all the stuff you ask of him, he did, and then some. He kind of carried us for a bit in that game. Marvin Chavez, I think our biggest challenge would be winning in Colorado more than other teams getting a result we need. That is the real challenge. Win and you're in against a team that's... How many games is that now, Tony? How many games have they not lost in a row?
14. They're trying to go for their quinceañera.
Oh, my Lord. That is scary. Everybody's shaking their heads like, now I feel bad. I'm like, I'm flying out to see this. They better not, right? We got to get it right. First time for everything. Carlos C. As a fan, I would welcome Rossi back, but he's older than Rayito. His time to play in Europe is now. I hope he succeeds in Europe for his sake. Yeah, again, all love for him. LA Wolf fan, Colorado will be difficult because the altitude. Let's see how that will affect stamina and focus of our players. And the old focus has been a story, hasn't it, guys? Mark Lopez, we need an algorithm. We talked about that earlier. You'll get one. Marvin Chavez, rather play SKC or Seattle over Portland or Vancouver, to be honest. Yes, Portland had our number, absolutely had our number this year. Up until the last day, Portland was like the danger one that we were going to play them. But then when we blew it against Vancouver, I think that kind of went away. Vancouver, I don't want to play there. You're right. It's scary. I don't play Seattle either. Everybody's back. I want Kansas City. I'll be real. I want Kansas City. Or Colorado. Yeah, of course. Of course. LA Wolf fan, I think it'll be 70 to 75 degrees. Yes, so they are saying that it's going to be a warm day in Denver. For them, that's warm. For us, we're like 75. Is it night right now? It's going to be kind of a nice day. 3:00 kickoff, right? I guess 2:00 local, right? I think I'm seeing that right. Yeah. So midday, warmest part of the day, we're going to be in the stands. And I say warm relatively. So good news. But of course, Hooligan Ox comes in here because whatever brightness my boy Hooligan Ox brings it real. Yep, weather sucks out in the Midwest. Got it. I know. And then he also mentioned, I think he mentioned later, here it is. It's supposed to be a little warmer on the weekend, but early AM and late night will be freezing. Yes, it'll be close to freezing. Mid-30s, they're saying. So bring a jacket, everybody. Marvin Chavez. I feel Colorado score first is going to be a very difficult game to win. We'll need some luck on our side to get a goal early and get momentum to score 2+ goals. I feel if it's 2 or below, Colorado will leave with a tie. When we win, it's 3, right, guys? It's always 3. That's how it takes to win. We need 3 goals. Chicho's ready. I look at their backline and I'm like, we could take these guys. They're going to play us straight up, so the opportunities will be there. Hooligan Ox, we'll move forward to Marvin. Sifu has been underperforming for quite a while now, at least offensively. There's been moments for sure that it hasn't been what we needed. Hooligan Ox, hey, Tony, you on right now? He's messing with you. Hey, and Roberto's jumped on. Good to see you, Roberto. Good stuff. So those are the comments that I see. Maybe there are a few. Oh, here you go. Roberto's got a new job. Congrats, my man. Rasta is in the house. Black Gold Vinyl Club just posted the shoes also. Saturday's football soon to be the one who broke the news. Yeah, I think they got the opening to do so. So there it is. Except it was in the stadium too. They showed it on the screen in the stadium during the game, if you were noticing that. Hooligan Ox, I agree. Marvin Sifo hasn't been the same as before. I mean, he's had some health stuff too, right? And travel stuff. So it's not been all roses for him either. Tony, you had something to say?
Oh no, because it's gonna go next to what what Ox is gonna say. It was the one on for the one that we saw in the stadium was a giveaway, and it's going up to what Hooligan's gonna say right now. If you want to go to that.
Boom! I need those sambas. I saw there were 2 different sambas.
There was
I don't give anything.
So there was another one at HQ. So they showed the HQ ones, and then there was a special limited edition one that has Los Angeles, like where the brim is, like where you put your shoe in the heel, and it says Los Angeles around it. But that was the giveaway one, from what I've been told.
That's a special edition shoe, right?
Mm-hmm. That's like you would have to win it at the stadium to do the QR code. I think that's what it was for.
Getting all crazy with this stuff. But the other ones have the street by street, block by block, 1 by 1 on the heel, right? Or inside the heel?
Yeah.
On the pad. Yeah, or the sole. I don't know. Inside. Yeah. So they're gorgeous. I mean, they really are this embodied in a shoe. So that's super cool. Hooligan Ox, I want us to play SKC when we get through the playoffs. Like I can go to the match out here. I won't have to fly out. Man, that's like, for me, 3 trips to Kansas City in 4 years. Dude, I know we need to play him in the playoffs, but you can only have so much barbecue, man. Just saying. Hooligan Ox. Yeah, it's going to be the high 60s, so it'll be warm. For you, that's the evening here in Los Angeles. Lucha Underground, Carlos Vela not going to go back to Real Sociedad. No, he's not. Something going to happen. We'll see. Oh, there's a question for Bam. Is there relegation in the Australian Soccer League?
There is, but there isn't. So you're probably thinking about the A-League, which is the top flight. So the Melbourne Victories, Melbourne Cities, Western United, Western Sydney Wanderers. There's no relegation there. But we have state leagues, and there's relegation in those. So in Victoria, you got the NPL, NPL 1, NPL 2, State League 1, State League 2, State League 3, State League 4, and State League 5. So we have a multi-tier system. So in that, there is relegation.
Okay. So the Sharks can get relegated or promoted, or yeah.
Your Port Melbourne Sharks are top in the State League, but they can get relegated all the way down.
There it is. Go Sharks. Oh, man. Good stuff. Hooligan Ox is talking about Call of Duty. There he is. All right, Hooligan. I know. Y'all going to be playing Vanguard when we get off this. I get it. Carlos C. What the hell is a samba? Ooh, okay. Well, a samba is
A dance.
He's being sarcastic. Please don't. Is he? It's not April 1st. Dude, classics Adidas shoe. That's all I got to know. The ultimate classic. Outside of the Superstar, there's the Samba. Right? Those are your two. Right? So, Samba is what we all wear all the time. I'm like looking for my shoes on the floor. It's okay. Tony's gone off. I wear Business anyway. They're like cheater Sambas, but there's that. All right. I like Rasta's statement here. Episode 213, LA's OG area code. Yes, it is. Isn't that fitting that we play a playoff match? We all travel up there, and it's the 213 representing. Nice, Rasta. Nice. Anthony Bermudez. I saw LAFC wins and Vancouver loses, and I think Vela stays in LAFC after what he said about Antoine Griezmann. That would be fun. We'll see what happens. Can hold out hope that a deal is struck and it's the right price for everyone and everyone's happy and walks away from it. Yes. Pernitez says, think. Yeah. I mean, imagine Griezmann here. That would be fun. That'd be a heck of a lot of fun. Your Fortnite celebrations would be kicking off, which would be kind of interesting, but yeah. Hooligan Ox. Nope, no Vanguard for me. Not yet. Bam's going to get it. Right, Bam?
Yeah, next week when my second PS5 arrives.
Second, people. We can't get one. This guy's got two. Should have traded him for vaccines, man. I'm just saying. Roberto Espinoza. I've always wanted some Sambas. These are nice ones. I'd be afraid to wear them because of the color, and I have children. But yeah, still, they look cool. Hooligan Ox says boost knits are clean. I like those, and they're a bit cheaper too, and more padding. You can survive in the North End with boost knits. That's why I wear them. They look the same from a distance, but have like twice the padding and shock absorption, so I can survive for 90. There you go. One's fashion, one's function, as far as I'm concerned. Got it, says Carlos. Samba, the shoe, not Brazilian music. Exactly. Xbox for me, no PlayStation. We all have our faults, Ox. and Wolfan is laughing. There it is. All right. So there we are. Thank you guys for all of your comments today. I know we're all a little bit nervous in the lead up to this. We've never been in a position like this where we could die with a loss before we even get into the show. I know it's scary. I get it. But I have confidence in my side. Even though we didn't get the win the last match, the opportunities were there. I expect the same thing in this match. I expect us to take it to Colorado. We take it to everybody. Why wouldn't we do it again in this match? So That's where my head is at. Okay. Did we lose? We lost somebody, didn't we? Oh man.
Benny.
Lost our boy. He didn't want a final thought, people. That's what that is. He didn't want a final thought. I see you, man. I see you didn't want to do the final thought. I'm gonna throw it at you. At the end of the day, guys, beyond thankful, as you know. We are lucky because you guys follow us. I don't want this to be the last pod of the season. God, no, I don't want that to be the case. I don't want to pick up the pieces one next week. I want to preview next week. So, on that note, it's time for final thoughts, right? That's what we do. It's what we do. So, Bam, your final thought of the day, sir.
For those going to Colorado, phones in your pocket for 90 minutes. Go hard. At halftime, check your phones. I'll be on there. Let you know what the go is. Let's hope Seattle does well. And let's go get 3 points.
Feels weird, doesn't it?
I feel dirty.
Right. Seattle does well. Ugh, it's like betting on baseball. What's going on? Tony, final thoughts, sir.
Final thought is let's get this 3 points. Let's get ourselves back into the playoff and continue this trend that we have. And let's not do a chant that's gonna get us banned for not going to games, please. That's my final thought.
Well said, sir. Well said. That chant is trash. Y'all know it's trash. It didn't come from the north end. We aren't going to put up with it. We figure it out. You're toast. That's all I know. We're better than that. Ben, final thoughts, sir.
Final thoughts. Well, let's hope for the best. Let's just be grateful that, there's still a chance for us to qualify for the playoffs. We're not going to give up. We're going to support this team until the end. And let's hope they perform. Let's hope they get the win. And we're in the playoffs. And hopefully we have a eventful November in the playoffs.
There we go. As you guys know, no matter what happens, it's going to be, 2 weeks off before the playoffs actually kick because there's World Cup qualifiers that we can all get excited about. But yeah, I don't want to come back from the qualifiers and go, what? There's no football for us? Yeah, no, thank you. No, thank you at all. No, I want to talk about traveling during Thanksgiving break somewhere really cool. Sorry, Ox, I didn't mean Kansas City. I said somewhere cool. Midwest. No, it's cool. I had a great trip out there. Just messing with you guys. I do enjoy Kansas City. But that being said, we need to get a win. That's all that it's about. Those of you traveling with me, because I will be there, let's do this, man. Let's get to this. Let's go crazy. I already know you guys are because everywhere we travel, we're a story. So I know I don't have to worry. I know the 3252 is going to go insane in Colorado. They're going to make it happen. I realize that Commerce is kind of like the Rocky Mountain Carson. I get that. Way out of downtown, but we'll get there. We'll find our way there, far, far away, in far, far away land, and get it done. That's for sure. Those who are traveling, represent yourself well in the pregame and the lead up. We're going to have fun the night before. Be on your best behavior because we need you at full tilt the next day. Those of you back home, wear your colors with pride. We are still in this thing. It ain't over till it's over. So go show your colors, do your thing, make it happen. Those of you who have been downtown, you've noticed an amazing mural on a certain wall at the Hotel Figueroa. If you haven't, go check it out. We all love you, Kat. You're amazing. Thank you for volunteering to be our model, our what's a good way to say it? The vision of the 3252 on the Hotel Figueroa for all of us, because you're like 50 foot tall, and that's really freaking cool. I know Bam hasn't seen it yet, but the mural is absolutely amazing. So go check that out as well while you're going to your watch party and do your thing. To all of you, like I said, this is not the end. I'm not preparing for this to be the end. Whatever does happen, though, we will be on next week. Have to be on next week, no matter what happens, for a preview as far as I'm concerned. And and we'll make this happen. As you know, the Heart of LAFC has been the one show that has been continuous since last season and not taken any sort of a break, really, except for when I went on the road trip through this year. And last off season was nuts because we were doing double shows and piling through. I'm sure we'll take a little bit of a breather, but not right after, right? That 2-week break for international play is a nice time for us to get a recharge, I'm sure. We'll figure it all out, but we will definitely be back. We ain't going away. That is for certain. So on that note, let me get things prepared because, again, the tradition dictates what it always dictates. Gentlemen, Bam, what is our word of the day?
Stay golden.
Tony, word of the day?
Stay golden.
Ben?
Stay golden.
And for me, to all of you, stay golden.
Thank you for listening to the Heart of LAFC. Make sure to leave us a rating and review on iTunes or Stitcher. Shoulder to shoulder, the black and gold is taking over.